So, this project nearly broke me. I think this, honestly, was one of the hardest things that I have ever done. And honestly, it made me think, what the heck have I taken on here? So, welcome to week 2 of the WHIMSIGOTH Summer series, our first ever theme series over here on YouTube. If you've never been to my channel, my name is Stephanie Mitchard. I crochet, I craft, I do all different types of crafty things. And this is our little corner of the internet where we talk about all things crafty. Now, I say our little corner of the internet because the best thing about doing this YouTube is the fact that we have an amazing community here. Every single week, we meet up on a Wednesday. We have our premiere episodes. Every episode's a premiere, and the reason for that is so we've got a place where we can meet up every single week. We have a little chat while all watching the video. So Wednesdays, 7 p.m, we have the Chit Chat and Crochet podcast, and then on Sundays at 10 a.m, we have our craft video of the week. So if all this sounds absolutely amazing to you, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, come and join our community. Now, another place that we meet up during the week around the videos is over on Facebook. We have our Facebook group, the Mitchard Mateys Craft Club. Thank you, Wendy, for coining that name. Now, while I always want to make sure that my content stays free and accessible, regardless of budget, I have added a little extra feature for those of you who do want to support. For $2.99 a month, you can join our YouTube membership club. And what that does is that just basically helps fund me buying things like wool for the projects and also keeping me loaded up on caffeine to make sure I'm getting all this work done quickly. Now, for your $2.99 a month, you get a loyalty badge over here on YouTube. So when you're typing in the chats, it shows that you're part of the membership. You get priority responses to comments. And in every single video, you will get a shout out. Now, I do pre-record videos. So for any reason, if I've not read your name, it will always be in the notes down below. And you'll get a shout out in the next video, I promise. So for this video, I want to do a huge shout out to Wendy, to David, to Emma, to Claire, to Teddy, to Emma, and to Liz. Thank you so much for supporting my channel and just being here in this community. Thank you so much to all of you. You can also support me with little one-off payments if you want to buy me a cup of coffee. All the links to support are all in the notes for this video. Please know that there's never any pressure to donate. The most important thing to me is that you're here, part of this community. So just a few other things to discuss before we start this video. Massive news. Not only have we got this huge first on this channel by doing this WHIMSIGOTH Summer series, we've also got our first watch party. So on the 20th of August, all together, we are going to watch Practical Magic. Is there another film that is more whimsigoth than Practical Magic? If you can think of one, send me a message. Let me know. Comment down below. So that episode of the Chit Chat and Crochet podcast on the 20th of August, 7 p.m, we're going to have our podcast. That podcast, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you all different types of witchy movies that I absolutely love and give you a bit of a movie watch list. Then immediately after that, I'm going to do a live stream where I am going to announce the winner of the Dossier perfume giveaway that we were doing. If you want to be in with a chance of winning a Dossier perfume, I'm going to link the video down below where I talk all about Dossier perfume and all the information on how to submit your entry to be in with a chance of winning a bottle of perfume is over there. Then 8 p.m, after all that is done, we're going to go over to Facebook and we are all going to sit and get into the chat over there. And over on Facebook, we've actually got a chat, which I've added everybody to, the Practical Magic Movie Watch chat. We're all going to go in there. We're going to press play at 8 p.m. That's 8 p.m. England time. And then we're all going to sit and we are going to watch Practical Magic together and have a chat while we're watching the movie. I've got another thing to mention as well. The 23rd of August, Saturday, 23rd of August, 10 a.m. till 3 p.m, a Modern Yarn, Michaela, the lovely Michaela at Modern Yarn, is hosting a Granny Square event at his shop in Formby. It's going to be absolutely amazing. So if you want to talk all things Granny Square, it's going to be a drop-in. There's going to be tables where we can sit, we can crochet, we can talk all things Granny Square. And you can finally meet Michaela and see her amazing shop And you'll also get to meet me because I'm going to be there too. So hopefully, if you get a chance, come down, come support, and let's have an amazing day. Now, the last thing that I'm going to mention is our crochet along. I am so excited to be doing this crochet along, and now it's another huge first for the channel. We have never done a crochet along before, so we all decided back in July we would do this crochet along, making celestial granny squares. Week 1, what we did was we made all of our stars. Week 2, we made all of our moons, and this week we finished off all of our stars. Right now we should have 24 granny squares that we can assemble. Next week is going to be our assembly week, and if you would like your bag to be featured in the video on the 31st of August, please send me a photograph by the 25th. And if it's gone past the 25th, I might still be editing the video. If you post it over on Facebook and just tag me in it, we'll see what we can do with that. So talking about tote bags, let's get talking about this tapestry work that nearly finished me off. Now, tapestry work is something that I really, really enjoy doing. I remember when I first started learning to crochet and I would see these people making these amazing crochet designs. And I remember thinking, like, how are they doing that? I have no idea. And never in a million years did I think that I would ever have the skills to create something like Michelle Jassick's patterns. And it really was because of watching Michelle Jassick's videos that I actually pushed myself and started and pushing and trying to make the tapestry works. It was her Halloween haunted house jumper. That's the thing that made me go, right, I am going to make one of those. I need to make one of those. I'm also just going to insert a little photograph here of our Jackson wearing the little jumper. Doesn't he look absolutely beautiful? So, so cute. There's nothing that makes me more proud of wearing one of my tapestry designs. It makes me feel like every single time I look at it, I know how much work it's took, and it just makes me feel so happy. So, so happy. So I kind of figured out that basically just tapestry designs are just grid patterns. Just grid patterns. You're made to make sure you're only doing your single crochet or your half double. You don't want to be doing a double stitch, that's American terms, because it'll look like you've got 2 stitches standing on top. It's too tall and your design ends up stretching, unless you're using a design that specifically mentions double crochets. So what I thought was, well, a lot of designs come from cross stitch. Can I transfer this into a tapestry design? And what I learned was yes, you can. So I purchased the Julie Hassler's Fantasy Cross Stitch book with this in mind, thinking, you know what, let's have a little look. We'll see what we've got, and we'll see if we can transfer any of those designs into a tapestry design. By the way, if you haven't watched that video yet, I actually do a full walkthrough review of that book, and the link for that is down below in the notes, just in case you haven't seen it. Now, one thing I did find with this book is these designs are absolutely massive. They're huge, they're so intricate, and the one that I chose is I chose the Libra scales, and I thought, you know what, let's have a little go, let's have a little crack at it, and we'll see what we come up with. So the design is 100 stitches by 100 stitches, which when I tend to do like a jumper, I tend to do like 110. That's like, you know, that's the kind of size that I'm doing. So I thought, you know what, 100 stitches, that's not so bad. I used a 4mm hook because I wanted the stitches to be quite dense. I didn't want there to be any kind of give in this bag. Also, I thought if I do it in a 3.5, it's going to shrink the bag down a little bit, where if I do it in a 4 or 5, which would have took, you know, it would have grew a lot quicker, it would have been a lot larger. So I thought, right, 3.5, let's do it at 3.5. I also knew that with certain things like wool, it's going to stretch. Even acrylic wool, there will be a bit of stretch to it. So I'm going to line the bag. Now, this is something that I've never done before. I've lined projects, small projects, and I have stitched onto wool before, but only a few times. So this is going to be a bit trial and error. This is going to be a little bit nerve-wracking, but you know what? We're going to do it, and it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. Now, the wool that I've chosen is the Hayfield Bonus DK. You know, your girl, she loves a bit of Hayfield Bonus DK. I absolutely love the stuff. It's acrylic. The colours, such a wide range of colours. And usually it's quite cost effective as well. So that's what we're going to do. So let's start the video there. Let's have a little look at what wools I chose. So we've had our order from the Little Wool Company. And here are the colours that I've chosen for this project. Now, there's also black and white in this, but I have that in my stash, so I'm not going to be including that. And I've also got a very dark navy colour that I got from the Women's Institute, so I'm not going to be including that in this. I'll include that in a little bit. So, the colours that we've chosen, we needed to have colours in like yellow tones running from very light to almost brown. So we've chosen birch, we've got fields of gold, we've got golden, and we have got bronze. The blues, we have got aloe, we have got royal teal, and we have also got navy. In the two greys, because I'm going to do a moon on the other side, we've got platinum and we've got granite marl. These are all in the Hayfield bonus DK. I absolutely love Hayfield bonus DK. I can't rave enough about it. I really genuinely can't. But I think these colours look really, really nice. I think this is going to be so pretty. Like this gold, that to me, just that with this, oh, that is just doing something for me. I absolutely love that blue, that navy, that very rich navy with this very rich gold colour. Just so pretty. So I've printed off the pattern from the book. So it's 100 squares going, not 100 squares, sorry. Well, here's 100 squares. It's 100 stitches going across, 100 stitches going up. So it's 100 by 100, and it's separated into sections of 10. You can see on the right-hand side there, that is the colour chart. So what I did was I just cut off a little tiny bit of each colour that I have, and I've glued it onto the side there. I didn't really think about the fact that I'm going to need gold thread for this. I did not think about that. So luckily in my stash, I had some of this gold, and I can't remember what it's called. Now this is lock. I've decided to do that white colour in the lock, and I'm hoping that it gives a good kind of contrast to the colours that I've chosen. I think that it will, but now I'm starting to think maybe I should have used something different, but we'll see. So we've worked up the first few rows. I think it's 6 rows altogether. This is just before I start doing the colour work. Now this is 100 stitches, and what I've decided to do is I've got a stitch marker every 10 stitches, so that symbolises those little sections where you can see that in that grid pattern. These are just safety pins. I bought these on Amazon years ago. I'm still working through them. This is what works for me. Now, I think it's really good having these stitch markers here, because this is going to be, I think this is probably going to be the hardest tapestry project that I've ever done. So we need some help. So I'm using bonus DK, as you know, and I've added in this gold thread. Now, because this gold thread is significantly thinner, the only thing I'm going to be doing different in terms of stitches with this project is I'm doing that gold thread in half double crochets, and the rest of the project I'm doing it in single crochets. This is definitely one of the hardest projects that I've ever done. I feel like I'm going a little bit blind looking at this, but I think what's really amazing is when I'm looking at it on the camera, it's actually coming out really, really lovely, and it's actually looking like the design, which I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like so shocked about. Probably if I was doing it again, I probably would have chosen a different blue for this back colour. I've got that really kind of like vibrant sort of light blue. Probably would have gone with a silvery tone. So if I ever remake this again, which I might, I'll probably use maybe some more muted colours within this design. But I'm going to keep working, not taking this apart. Just going to keep going, and we'll see what this ends up like. I'm absolutely made up with how this is turning out, and the little tiny flecks of gold running through it. Oh my gosh. So happy that I just had that in the cupboard. For the life of me, I can't remember what it is, but yeah. This is one of the downsides for this project, is this keeps happening. Although I have the bobbins, it's just every time I put it down, I've got to untangle it. Also, my allergies are really kicking off. The hay fever is high today, and I am wheezy. And I thought I'd try and just work a little bit on this before I go take Jackson to the squirrels, because it's Thursday and it's squirrels day. But yeah, I love putting this in. I'm so happy. Oh my goodness. But yeah, we've nearly run out of this, so I need to wrap another bobbin, and we've nearly run out of this too. So yeah, it's coming together. It's coming together. These have been the best investments in my sort of recent kind of crochet purchases, yarn bobbins. I don't know what I was doing without yarn bobbins. What was I doing? Like, what actually was I doing without using yarn bobbins? Like, actually amazing. I had larger ones than these, and I found these. I was in John Lewis a few weeks ago, and I found these. This is the brand, it's the Pony brand, and I think you get 10, I think you get 10 little yarn bobbins on the packet. I can't remember now for the life of me, but you can see the little demo there of, like, I mean, obviously this person has tiny hands, because that is not a true representation. I mean, like, look at, if I turn it over, oh no, that person's got tiny hands. Unless I've got giant hands, who knows. But yeah, these best things ever, because the best thing is, well, you can clip it like onto the work as well, just by kind of like, you know, bending that slightly, clip it on, keeps the wool there. Best investment ever. These aren't expensive either, so if you're getting into tapestry work, get yourself some of these. Another little hint as well is what I'm doing. A lot of the yellows and the blues, I'm just kind of working along with these because I'm pretty much carrying them across. The navy, though, doesn't tend to come into the centre. And the blue, this lock, doesn't also come into the centre. So I actually have 2 navy bobbins either side and 2 locks either side as well. So I'm not having to carry that wool going right across the middle of the design because it's not needed. So that's one of my tips for you, is see where those colours are. And if you can, have 2 colours either side of your colourway. So this is the project all kind of wrapped up. So you can see these bobbins just hook onto the work. So I'm about to put this away. And that way, when I get it out next, it's going to be all neat and tidy. So it's Sunday the 11th of May. And I have done 30 of my 100 rows. Oh my gosh, this is like, what I'm finding is when I'm making this, after I've done about 5 rows, I start feeling like very overwhelmed. But when I sit here and look at this like this, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is actually going to be so amazing. I'm so happy that I had a go of doing this. Do you know one thing that I regret though? Is on the design, you see here, you've got at the base, you've got this like a medium blue, which is this colour. Because that is a little bit too close to the lock, it doesn't really stand out as much. I think if I was doing this again, which I probably will, is I would actually change the design and have the dark blue, so you actually get it standing out. Looking at the rest of the design, it's not going to be an issue. It's not going to be an issue at all. It's just that like a little bit there. But you know what? We live and we learn. And so I would say if you're going to do this Libra design, just change this. Either make it a really contrasting colour to the background that you're going to be making, then it would work. But I really wanted to do it in this blue. I just wanted this blue. I wanted to use the lock. But maybe I should have done it in a lighter colour. But again, live and learn, trial and error. But yeah, this is where I'm up to. It is 7:30 in the morning. It's a Sunday. Red and Jackson are upstairs. They're having a little doze. And I can't sleep in past sort of like 6:30, 7 o'clock. I just can't. It's my body clock just wakes me up. No matter how late I've been to sleep the night before, I am awake at that time. So I've come down. I'm going to do a bit of work on this. Go upstairs about 8:30 and wake them up. And then we're going to be getting ready because today we're going to a medieval festival in Ormskirk. So that's going to be absolutely amazing. So I'm going to vlog the whole thing. And I know that we are a channel that tends to do crochet, but I'm going to do a vlog on it. So by the time this comes out, you'll have watched it. And if you haven't watched it, go and check it out. Right now, I don't know what's in store for us, but it's going to be amazing. I'm really, really excited. So I am sat here, I'm watching Michelle Jasic. She is doing her video on his sardines bag. So I'm going to see how she gets on with that. And I'm going to do a little bit of this crochet. Well, I have gone wrong somewhere. Really, really majorly wrong somewhere. So I've just held up, I've just started working on the back panel. So I'm on the train and working on the back panel because it's really like, you know, just single crochets. It's an easy project. And I've gone really wrong. My tension, obviously doing the tapestry, is a lot looser. I'm using a 3.5 hook and these are really, really tight. And I just don't know what to do now. I'm feeling really, really stressed out. I've gone 48 rows and it's just not matching up. And I just don't know what to do. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. It's trial and error. I just can't see the end of this project. I mean, I'm really proud of myself because I'm really trying really hard to just try something new and really, really push myself. And gosh, I am pushing myself. So I actually did 48 rows of this. And when I held it up against the work, I think I've just done the tension. The tension on the tapestry is a lot more loose than this. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the whole thing apart and I'm going to redo it. And I'm going to redo it with a 4.5. And I think that is going to give me a bit of leeway for the design. So I am up to row 70. So I've gone past that halfway point. I'm actually up to row 72. This has honestly been one of the hardest things that I have ever tried to do. There is going to be some serious blocking as well going on. I mean, the tension as well. My tension was all going crazy. This is why it's like tighter here than it is in the middle because I'm working a lot looser. So I think if I was going to do this again, then maybe I would have done these bits with a 4, this bit with a 3.5, just to even out that tension. That's what I'm thinking I probably would do if I was doing this in the future. Maybe when I do Red's Frankenstein jumper, maybe I'll do that. But I actually see in the end, there was a point around here and I was just like, this section, I felt like I just could not see the end in sight, like, at all. The back looks insane. Like, that just looks crazy. Normally when I'm doing tapestry, I weave things in, but with this, I was just like, I'm not even going to attempt that. I'm not even going to attempt it. But I'm really impressed with how it's actually, like, turning out. It's really, really looking like the design, especially like this part here. I'm loving this like little straight line. You can see like where like the top of the scales are going to be. Oh my gosh. It's really, really coming together now. Yesterday I managed to get 5 rows and each row is taking about 25 minutes to half an hour. So this has just been so much work. I'm gonna have to work out how many hours of work this has been. Because it's 100 rows. It is 100 rows. But yeah, it's the end is in sight. It's all going off. So I'm here. This is where I'm up to. As soon as I get to here, it's going to start going really, really quick. So I'm just thinking if I can just get to there today, that's my little personal goal. And then it's going to start flying. Like, I know it'll start flying and we'll get this done. This is really genuinely been one of the hardest things I've ever done, and I'm so happy that it's nearly over. So I have finally got up to here, which means that basically all the hard stuff is in the middle. So I'm really hoping that now I'm going to start flying with this. I have been working on this. I think I've been working on this about 2 months now. It's been a long time coming. This is hours and hours. I think I worked it out. It's about 44 hours worth of work once I've completed it. Because each row takes like half an hour. So I need to like work it out properly. But it's been a lot of work. And now I'm really seeing the end. Oh my gosh. So yeah. Oh my gosh. So let's continue. I really hope I get this done soon. That is what it is looking like. It really is coming together, just slowly, but it looks so good. I am so proud of myself, like genuinely so proud of myself. So I am finally on the last 2 rows of the tapestry work. I'm sitting in my garden. It's really, really, really warm. We're actually sitting underneath the apple tree, which is lovely. It's like loads of shade. It's like so chill. Jackson's playing with this giant pool that we got in the Morrisons. giant pool. Jackson playing in the giant pool. A little bit of Tilly. Right,
That's me.
That's you.
And look at my yoga. He had bubbles all over him.
Bubbles all over
when
him.
When I throw my quick again, yo!
So we're on the last 2 rows, and honestly, I'm so happy. I can literally just see the end. I am going to get this finished today. I'm going to get this panel finished. I can't believe that how many hours work. I'm going to tot everything up because this is the longest and most difficult project that I have ever done. And I don't want to say that I'm happy to see the back of it because I'm really happy that I challenged myself, but it has not been easy. It's really not been easy. And I just can't wait to just do something a little bit more lighter and something where I can kind of switch my brain off. But I'm so happy it's done, and it looks absolutely amazing. Looks so good.
And look at my boat. No,
Jackson's got a lot of boats. Why is the paddling pool kind of caving in on that side? Anyway, I will catch you up when we've completed it. It's finally done. It is finally done. This has been, must be nearly 50 hours of work. Maybe 45. Between 45 to 50 hours of work just on this panel. Just on this panel. I am so happy and I'm so proud of myself that I have accomplished this. I honestly God, I'm blown away because obviously this is a cross stitch pattern. This is not a crochet like tapestry pattern. This was designed for somebody to just do a cross stitch. Trying to get all of these colour changes, I am just, it looks fantastic. It looks better than I thought it was going to look. I'm going to turn it over and show you how messy the back is though. It's so messy. Usually when I'm doing tapestry work, I tend to conceal and weave my ends in as I'm going, kind of crocheting around the wool at the back. But with this, that was just not going to happen. The bag is also going to have a lining as well. So this is all going to be covered up. You're not going to see that. So what was the point in me trying to weave all that in? But yeah, it's finally done. So now Liz very, very kindly has offered to do the back panel for me because I'd done those 48 rows and I had to unravel them all because I did them with a 3.5 but the tension was all off. So Liz has been working on that back panel, so I'm going to give her a message now and be like, girl, how far have you got? I can take it off your hands again now I've got this done. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make 2 crocheted straps, but I am going to sew fabric onto the back of those straps just to give it a little bit of sort of substance to it because I feel like those straps will just stretch over time. So we'll get started on the straps now. So now I need to start making the straps. I don't want to make them really wide, so I've just literally gone 10 stitches. How I'm going to be making these is I'm just literally going to go back and forward, just doing single crochets. I'm thinking I'm probably going to make it quite long. I reckon it's going to be anywhere between 150 to 200 rows, just by looking at the size of the actual bag next to my arm. So obviously that's 100 stitches. So I need to make 2 of them. I'm just going to bang them up. I'm not going to film this process because you're just going to see me going back and forwards. Because how dull will that be, just watching me crochet single crochets back and forward, 10 stitches at a time. So I'll check in once I've got them done. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing now is I am going to be lining these pieces. So I've got this amazing cloth that I got at Abercans back in February, I think it was. And I am going to line the backs of the handles and I'm going to line the back of the tapestry. Liz has got the other side of the bag. So when I get that back off here this week, I will then line that and then we can stitch it all together. So let's get started. What I'm doing is I'm just laying out this fabric onto the table. These straps are quite long. They've gone 200 rows. And what I am going to do is I am going to cut the fabric probably like 1 centimetre each side bigger. So basically 2 centimetres larger than the width of this strap. Right, where did I just put my scissors? I had them a second ago. Right, they're here. So let's get cutting. So now I've cut this piece out, I'm just going to lay this back onto the fabric and use that as my guide. So I've now got my 2 pieces for the straps. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay the tapestry over this. And again, leaving about a centimetre going around, because I want to make sure that I've got a little bit of a gap going around. Actually, I'm going to leave a larger. I'm going to leave about 2 inches. Actually, that's what I'm going to do, because I've just thought I am going to block this out. Actually, I'm going to wait to do that because I need to block it. So I'm going to fold this fabric back up. I got this fabric, it was literally in a bin. Liz actually was the one that found it, and it was so funny, she was over an hour and I was like, girl, if you do not get it, I am going to get it. She very kindly gave it to me. So what we're going to do now is we are going to actually use this fabric. What we are going to do is we're actually going to iron this fabric out. So I want to make sure that it's nice and flat. So I have these little clips that I got at Soft Strand Gren. I see lots of people using these, and I thought that would be a really great way of just holding this fabric in place. Now I haven't done the fabric right up to the edge because I kind of want to keep a little bit of the blue showing. Okay, so that is what that is going to look like on one side, and hopefully that is going to take a little bit of stretch out of the wool. Let's do the same on the other one. So now I'm going to set up my sewing machine. I'm going to use this navy wool because I feel like the navy wool will just be a little bit better. This navy wool will just look a little bit nicer in comparison to yellow. I don't want the yellow coming out into the wool, where I think that this blue will kind of conceal quite well. And two. So now I have my 2 little straps that have been lined. So one of the things I'm about to do is about to block this panel because it went so wonky, so wonky. Now, I don't normally block things, and this is actually quite large. So luckily, my mum and dad had this big cardboard box that they were throwing out, and I basically took the cardboard box and I've pinned this panel to the cardboard box. So I'm going to show you right now. So this is what I've been doing for the last sort of half an hour. I've got the iron and I've been steaming and just moving that fabric. I think that's probably as square as I'm going to get it, to be honest with you. We'll just see how it goes. I'm also working on the other panel, so I just need this to dry, and then once that's dried, I'll take it down, and then we're going to stitch the fabric to the back. It's going to look really good. Okay, so I've just finished blocking this back panel. I got this back off Liz, and then I just finished off a few rows on it. So that is now all blocked. It's the same size roughly. I mean, I don't think they're perfectly rectangular. So when we stitch the inside in, we're just gonna have to see what happens with that. We'll figure it out. But it's all blocked. And I don't normally block things. And now I'm like thinking like, maybe I should be blocking things because it's not as dense. And it like, the drape is like a lot nicer. So maybe the next garment I make after the cardigan that I'm already making, because I've already done that to size, next jumper that I make, I think I might have a go at blocking things. Who is she? So they're now both blocked, and they're pretty much sort of like a square. They're not 100%, but you know what? We're just going to make it work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch down one side, and then what I'm going to do then is I'm going to get the fabric, and then I will put it over like basically the giant rectangle. That's basically what I've got in my head. I've never lined a bag, like I said at the start of the video, so this is very, very trial and error for me. I'm just going to try and figure it out. So this is the fabric. I've laid it out, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut down at the bottom, and we're just going to try and get it as straight as possible. Again, I've never done this before, so I'm just going to see what happens. Hopefully this is going to go okay. What I'm going to do as well is I'm going to cut the corners, because I've been watching videos of people like making bags, and they always kind of cut the corners, and obviously then it kind of looks a little bit neater, and it's not going to be kind of clumpy. So I've cut the corners and I've folded in these edges, and what I've done is I've actually ironed these down. So as you can see, again, the corners, they're meeting properly. It's actually like looking really, really good. Like I'm actually like really impressed, and I think this is gonna work. So I've decided I'm gonna make a little pocket. So I've been looking at YouTube videos on how to do this, and basically what you do is you stitch the zipper to the fabric before you kind of like, you know, stitch it onto the bag, and that makes so much sense. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out a square. This is a 10-inch zip. So I've cut out my little square of fabric and I've pinned it to my zipper. So all I need to do now is I just need to stitch this side of the fabric onto the zipper. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch the other side onto the fabric. So it kind of went a little bit wonky, but you know what? I don't normally do this, and this is not my forte. My forte is crochet, but you know what? We're just having a little go. This is for me. I'm not selling this. It's not supposed to be professional, but you know what? I'm seeing like it actually happening, and I'm feeling really, really happy. So I've now pinned the zipper and the little bit of fabric onto the larger piece of fabric, the actual bag lining. What I need to do is I need to stitch the zipper going along, and then what I'll do is I'll fold that fabric over and then stitch it onto the bag. So that'll create my pocket. So I've stitched it on. You can see that fold down. I'm actually like really impressed with how this is looking. So what I'm going to do now is I just need to stitch around. So I've just stitched around. Oh my God, look at that. It looks so good. I'm actually like, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not professional by any standard, but like I am absolutely buzzing. Oh my gosh. So I've pinned everything together now. So I've got my straps that I did before. They're pinned on. I've got that bag lining with the pocket. Guys, it's actually looking like a real bag. So what I need to do now is I need to just stitch going all the way around. I'm going to do this on the sewing machine, so we'll just see how it ends up. But I am just like flabbergasted with how much this is actually looking like a real bag. So I've now stitched it all the way around. So that lining is now attached all to the wool. The more I look at this fabric, the more I love it. And look at my little pocket with a little zip. Like, I am honestly, I'm just so happy with myself. Like now I just want to make tote bags. I just want to like sit and on me like sewing machine and just make totes. And totes gonna do that. Haha. So now I need to fold over and stitch it together. So I have just finished the bag. I'm not gonna film properly and show you all properly, because right now I feel like I'm going out of my mind. Oh my gosh, this has been over 50 hours of work, and the last little bit doing the sewing, because like Red said before, like sewing's not like the thing that's like not my strong suit. I can use the sewing machine, but it's not the thing that I'm like really good at. So the last bit, which just literally just should have been folding the bag over and just stitching down, that took so long and it kept going wrong, and I'm sweating and it's like really, really muggy outside, and I feel like I'm going crazy. So when I feel a little bit better, I am gonna film the bag properly and I'll show you all. But this, I'm so happy with how it's turned out. Like I am so happy with this bag, like so happy. It's been worth all of the work, but my God, that was a lot of work. So here she is. I've actually got things in it because I've been using it. I went to town the other day, and it's so cute because Jackson, bless his little heart, because he's been seeing me working on this bag. He wanted his own crochet tote bag. Let me just show you what I made him. So I didn't line this. I didn't line it. I just made it up quickly with a 5mm hook. And this was his little tote bag. This is a Pikmin tote bag. He loves the game Pikmin. It's a Nintendo game. And he has a little red Pikmin hoodie that he loves to wear. And I made him this to match. So we went to town the other day. We went to Rough Handmade in the Albert Dock to get croissants. We went to the Crystal shop and the sweet shop, and we just did our little circuit. And then we came back home and we both had our little crochet totes. And honestly, I've never felt more proud in all my life. I was so happy. I actually think as well, the skills that I have learned from this, that bag, I made that in 2 days, that little tote bag for Jackson. Now I know I've done it with a 5mm hook and it's significantly less intricate than what I've done here, but I feel like because of doing this, I actually feel like my skills have kind of gone up a level. I actually think that this has been so beneficial, even though it genuinely nearly ended me. I've actually got things in this now. I've actually got a pencil case and a journal. So let me just take those things out because I feel like I don't want it to be all bumpy when I'm showing you. Okay, so here she is in all of her glory. The gold as well. I was really panicking about the gold because actually I had to do this in a different stitch where majority or all of the stitches are single crochet except for the gold where it's a half double because it was such thin yarn. I was kind of worried about what that would look like. It looks amazing. I'm also really proud of how I've lined it because this was really, really difficult and I was really, really worried about how this was going to turn out. Not only that, I looked up on YouTube how to do it and I sewed a pocket into the bag. Also, I'm obsessed with this fabric. Thank you so much, Liz. Me and Liz, we found this fabric when we were in Abercans up in Preston and she nearly got it and she was umming and ahhing. I was like, girl, if you don't get it, I will. And she let me have it. And I'm so grateful, Liz, for you letting me have this fabric because look how fabulous it looks with this. It's so perfect. I think the thing that I'm most proud of is actually the straps. I like the fact that I've lined the straps just to give it a bit of additional strength. And I think it just looks so cute. I also added in a popper. I bought poppers from Sostra and Gren last time I was there. It was a bit of an impulse buy and I'm so glad that I impulse bought them because it just kind of keeps the bag together for me. And it just makes, I'm trying to think about things there. It's like how will I use this bag? What will make me use this bag? Oh, it needs a popper. Oh, it needs a little pocket on the inside. Another thing that I'm going to do is I'm actually going to stitch a little tube with a popper on and I'm going to stitch it to one of the straps. And then what we can do is when I'm walking about, that tube gets wrapped around both straps with a popper to keep those straps together. So that is something that I'm going to be doing. I love the size. I like the fact that it is so big so it can fit so much stuff in. Literally when we went to town on Saturday, I had my cardigan, I had Jackson's cardigan, I had a big croissant for Red. And if you've ever been to Rough Handmade, you know how big those croissants are. That was in there. Our crystals that we bought were in there. I had all sorts in there and there was still room. There was still room. So this took over 50 hours to make. The bag itself, the panel, took over 45 hours. Most likely, when I say over 50, I'm thinking it's probably closer to 60 hours work. Probably closer to 60. Because the back panel, that took a while. Another big thank you, by the way, to Liz, because Liz actually made half of this back panel for me. So kind. And she's honestly just like such an amazing friend. She could kind of see me freaking out because I was thinking, I'm not going to get this done in time. I got it done in loads of time, actually, because like as soon as I got to like this top bit, I started flying. The middle bit, that's the bit that nearly ended me. But Liz took this off me without any sort of, like, she was like, what can I do to help? And she just kind of leaned across the table and just took the project off me. She's just so kind. But yeah, that was a huge help. And I'm so proud. And I feel like I've learned so much from this. Now, will I be attempting another design out of that book? No time soon. No time soon. Maybe some of the smaller designs like the moons and the stars, but definitely not one of the big designs because wow, that was a lot of work. A lot of work. So have I inspired you to take up tapestry work? Are you going to have a try? See if you can make anything like this? Or do you think that I've just wasted 3 months of my life trying to make this bag? Let me know down in the comments what you think. So thank you so much for spending time with me today, making it to the end of the video. Thank you so much if you watched the other video as well. And remember, if you've enjoyed this video, make sure you give us a like, make sure you give us a subscribe, come and join our community. And if I don't see you on Wednesday in the Chit Chat and Crochet podcast, I will see you next Sunday when we have our craft project of the week. Have a lovely week, guys. Bye.